people assume that we can't criticize the industry without being misogynist.
And you understand, you're defending a girl.
Boy.
Reacting to this crazy feminist called Katiclyzm. Go check out her YouTube channel. It's very entertaining. If you want to be entertained by some crazy opinions and feminist dumbness, go do that. Go check out her channel. That's why I'm reacting to this one here, because it's going against her usual tastes and morals. She's basically arguing against herself. That's the best way to put it. Let's dive into it.
We are gathered here today to mourn the loss of a bro podcast that was around for too many videos too long. We are here to celebrate the short-lived life of the Reality Check podcast and its three absolute muppets who run the show. Now, I'm not often one to celebrate people's downfall. Now, that's not true, actually. But I'm not one to celebrate people's downfall unless it's very much deserved. And I don't always think that people can't redeem themselves. I think mistakes can be made online and you can recover from them. But I fear these mistakes may have been a little too dirty for my liking. And to summarize, if you saw my last video, you would have seen the absolute abomination.
Labeled her video free misogynists. And I bet you she has no evidence of them being misogynists, as in hating and disliking women. That's what it means. But these type of girls, they just throw that word around here like it's flipping free money or some shit. Like, yeah. Already we have some very interesting thought patterns from her. So this is going to be an interesting one.
That was the Reality Check podcast, bringing on Rebecca Goodwin, the OF girl who ended up crying after she was berated by these horrible little toads for half an hour. And then obviously with this podcast being released, they genuinely saw this and thought, yeah, that's mint. I'll post that, despite the fact that we made this woman cry. They genuinely still thought, yeah, no, it's fine, we'll post it. We won't get backlash. Because we all know they thought, well, it'll be fine because the general public will have our back. Ooh, how the turns have tabled. So Rebecca Goodwin came on after the podcast to basically show her feelings towards the situation. So we'll watch that. And then we'll watch these three absolute dickheads come on live stream and try.
Damn, the amount of insults she's said already, like, she hasn't even started getting into the whole video yet, and she's like just insulting them left, right and center, like, what the hell, man? Calm down, man. Miss Sassy, calm down.
Defend themselves by debating randomers, including me! Yeah, of course, Katiclyzms get a fat fucking nose in everyone's business. Couldn't help myself. So yeah, sit tight, I guess.
They showed me a patch of water on their sofa where they made the last guest. They then decided to talk over me the whole podcast so that I couldn't say anything. They told me that I was a waste of space and I did nothing for society.
I mean, no offense, if you're a sex worker, you don't bring anything to society. That's kind of factual. Like, no offense, man. You have sex for a living. Everyone pretty much has sex at some point. Like, obviously not everyone, some people die a virgin, but you know what I mean. It's not nothing special, it's not a talent. It doesn't bring anything to society. You get money from it, but what do you give back to society? What are you contributing to society? Nothing. So that's a factual statement. What's wrong with that?
This with all disrespect, the Reality Check show, but I paid £238,000 in tax last year. What the did your podcast do for society?
So yeah, you get the gist. I don't want to show her video too much. Go check out her account. She talks about it more. I don't want to steal her spotlight, so I'll let you guys go and see that if you want to see it. But you get the gist. She did this podcast. If you've seen my last video, you'll understand a little bit more. They were very disrespectful. If you watch the podcast, you'll understand that it isn't just some slight kind of underlying misogyny. It's like genuine, just cretin behavior. And then I was like checking out their account because loads of people were reacting to it. The clips were blowing up because it's like, well, why the hell on earth did you think it was a good idea to post this video of you making this woman cry and think you were going to get away with it? But no, instead of deleting it like she asked, because on her Instagram she posted a picture being like, hey, all I want is for you guys to delete this because I don't want to be associated with you three absolute buffoons, which is so real. I wouldn't want to be associated with them either. They decided not to do that. They thought, oh, what do we do in a time of crisis? What we do is we set up the Instagram camera in the room, most creepy, weird angle I've ever seen, just sat there while three of them are sat.
She just dissed the angle they filmed the video at. What? She even has a problem with the angle they filmed the fucking video at. Like, are you being fucking serious right now? Again, she hasn't even really started going into the whole thing, or at least her parts where she's debating them, and she's just saying a bunch of nonsense already. The angle, you know. If she's complaining about the angle, what else is she going to complain about? This is going to be an interesting one, man. Like 100%.
On the sofa, kind of staring into the abyss with not a single thought behind their eye. And they debate people. They try to clear their name, which wasn't really successful, as many of them have had allegations made against them. I'm not going to speak too much on that. Go do your own.
Yeah, of course. There we go. The allegations and accusations without, again, probably not much evidence. Because when these type of crazy feminists don't like you, they'll say you're the devil, basically. They'll say anything to, you know, trying to paint you in a bad light to the general public and all that type of shit. So I wouldn't take her word on it. But she did say, to be fair, go do your own research. So yeah, I suggest you go do that before you judge them, you know, blindly. Don't judge anyone blindly before you investigate what they're being accused of. It's innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around there. So like, let's try and remember that, people.
Search, if you have a look at the reality check online, it comes up with some very strange articles about some of them having been cleared of some charges. I don't know. I'm not going to go into that. Okay, that's heavy territory, but go and make that of what you will. So yeah, they do this stream. I'm not gonna lie, I did beg it to try and get onto their stream. I'm gonna hold my hand up because I knew if I could speak to them, I had a bit of a effort, a bit of a chance of drilling maybe some sense into their head. You can make your mind up to see whether you think that they actually learn from this conversation. But I'm not gonna lie, like, as a preface before we get into this, two of them like were kind of easy to talk to, stupid, but easier to talk, well, kind of easier to talk to. The one that you're about to see in the brown hoodie gives me really bad vibes. Just a horrible person through and through. Didn't enjoy talking to him. Gave me bad vibes throughout the entire conversation. And I thought it would be entertaining.
Of course, this person and that person gave me a bad vibe. Just the vibe. I have nothing else to go on apart from the vibe, you know. Just how I feel about them. My own personal biased opinions because I don't like them. So yeah, they're automatically evil because of it. That's the type of logic these I don't want to say on YouTube, man. I need to be careful what I'm saying, but yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
For us today to watch me and them debate and for me to discuss what my thoughts were at the time. If you don't care, that's fair. See you later. But yeah, let's check out my video. It's weird, isn't it? We're reacting to me. Cringe. Katie thought she ate with this, not gonna lie. She thought she was in an edit.
No, she didn't want to do it. Let's do this girl. This girl looks like she's going to be interesting.
I just want to start off by saying a little bit of shade was thrown there, wasn't it? What do you mean it looked like I'm going to be interesting? I mean, we all know it's the very short bangs that people say look like I myself and the piercings. That's fine. No tea, no shade. I think I got my own back. We'll see.
I mean, they're not wrong, yeah, and she knows that herself. She basically said it there. It's the weirdly straight eyebrows, obviously the nose piercings. She got piercing on her, the piercing on her eyebrow as well on the side. The weird haircut, and yeah, I call it the cow nose ring. Was it a septum piercing? That one as well. All of that. The only thing she's missing is the coloured hair, like a purple coloured hair, blue coloured hair or something like that, you know. But apart from that, this is like the classic feminist, crazy feminist, I should say. Crazy feminist look or aesthetic.
Get some guys in there.
Wait, she's in.
Oh.
Hello, you
Hi, you okay?
Yeah, not bad.
Me asking if they're okay, like I give a Girl, you don't care. If in case you could tell, when I started talking to them, I was like, I'm not a debater. I mean, I feel like now I am. I feel like now I could slay debates. I feel like Dean, whatever his name is, Dean Parker. I feel like him.
I just was wondering, because
Yeah, it's easier said than done, right? Like when you're watching someone and you're behind the screen and you're hyping to yourself like, oh, if I had the chance, I would say this, I'll say that, I'll destroy them in a debate, I'll do this, you know, especially someone like her, like these feminists that they're usually very confident until they actually get in front of the person they have a problem with, and then they start freezing up, or when you start challenging them and breaking down their arguments here, they don't really know what to say. And a clear sign of that is if they start just insulting you, basically, without attacking the actual arguments, which she's been doing. Again, I should put like a count or something here to see how many times she insults them. She's been insulting them continuously before even really diving into the video. And that's like a clear sign of her just wanting to embarrass them, basically, and belittle them, but not actually tackle the arguments or what she disagrees with.
I watched the episode today. I did a video on it actually, and I found it really interesting because I'm somebody who comes online and talks about the industry and OF, and I am someone who's very vocal about not necessarily agreeing with it, but I'm confused as to how you guys have come away from the situation and genuinely believed that you haven't done anything wrong. And I just want to hear like a summary of why you think the way you spoke to her was like acceptable.
Right, when I tell you, my hands were like shaking, and that's so embarrassing because who am I to be scared of the Reality Check podcast? Like, they share a collective 3 brain cells. They look like your average dealer interaction in Liverpool. Like, that is the sight I have seen many times on a staircase being handed non-illegal substances, because I would never dream of doing that. Like, that's what that looks like. No offense to them, you know, like, big up, I guess. Well, no, full offense, but you know.
The premise of the podcast is we have heated debates with people from that industry. They know what they're coming here for, so that's why we don't think we did anything wrong. If she came here not knowing what it was, and it was like the first podcast we had done, and we all, you know, ganged up on her and shouted at her and all this stuff, but she knew what she was coming on for. She gave some very controversial opinions, you know, the stuff, comparing what she does to an NHS worker, you know, saying those things is going to cause us to debate her, because I don't think if you work in the industry, you are as productive as someone who works for the NHS. And, you know, those are points that we were trying to make.
I love how they said this, but like in the video, they weren't really trying to make those points. They do this whole kind of like virtue signaling thing where they all act like they really care about NHS workers and like Tesco workers. Like they had
I mean, why is she assuming they don't? Like, how does she know they don't? If they're saying it, you gotta kind of take their word for it. And all she had to do was ask them, and she doesn't believe them. Just ask them, look, do you genuinely believe what you're saying and what you're doing? I mean, I guess people can lie. They'll probably say yes, even if they didn't really truly believe that or care. But you have to go on what they're saying. You have to take their word for it. You can't just make assumptions, because then, well, what's the point? Like, anyone can just assume things without it being actually factual, you know?
hard on the entire time for meal deals. It's like, you don't really care about 9-to-5 workers. You don't really care. Like, people so often on...
I mean, even like, even her herself, yeah. Like, she doesn't really care about OnlyFans workers. If you go to her channel and her YouTube channel, the majority of our videos are arguing and debating against OnlyFans people. She doesn't agree with them. That she is not anything she supports. But for this strange reason, this one specific time, apparently this girl was so special to her, touched her heart or some shit, that now she feels the need to defend an OnlyFans worker and argue for her work. You know, it's very strange. So she herself doesn't care. She usually doesn't care about OnlyFans workers, but then why is she defending her this time? So is this being fake? Like, it's a contradiction to what you usually post, woman, you know? It doesn't make sense. It's not adding up.
Internet, there's this really weird like trend, right, where people pretend they care about stuff. It's like, oh, I really care about that. And like, I'm not, obviously, like, I've like called out stuff that truthfully didn't need to be called out, or was a reach, or was petty, or whatever. But like this kind of behavior where you're like pretending to care about something in defense to you being in controversy is really weird. Like, I don't think, as much as I joke about it, I think the guy in the middle with the glasses, I think he is fully aware what he's doing. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really got much to say about this. Like, let's just continue.
And then we were just having a laugh at the end because we were like, why don't you take your kids away? And she started naming places in the UK that she had travelled them to. And we were like, well, that's not taking them away. So
I think a first sign of guilt and knowing that you're in the wrong is when you just start almost like word vomiting, because in this they're literally going, well, this happened, then this happened, this happened, but they're not really elaborating on anything. They're just skimming over points to make it look like they've got this big list of things that they believe that she did wrong. And I also don't really appreciate the whole take of like, well, she knew what she was getting herself into, because then like, okay, say that is the truth, do you still think that that makes you guys right? Do you still think that because you label yourself as assholes, oh, we're just an asshole podcast, she came onto that asshole podcast, so
Wait, what? Labeled yourself as... They didn't do that, you just did that. What is she saying? She just labeled them podcast. Like, clearly they didn't do that, so what the hell? Like, can you stick to the truth?
No.
it's like, well, maybe that's the case. I don't personally think it is, because I've seen Rebecca's content before. I've seen her podcast with Jackmate. She's not easily offended. She's very vulgar with the way she jokes about herself. So I don't really believe that she had this preconception that she was going to come on and...
Yeah, so if she's done it, that kind of adds to what they're saying. If she's done it before and she's used to these type of situations in these podcasts, she knows the reason why she's being invited to these podcasts for a reason. Again, it's not because she's changing the world or saving lives. It's because of what she does, and it because it's controversial in today's society. So she already knows this, yeah. And then usually she can take it. So how comes on this specific instance she couldn't take it, and she was so upset to the point she had to go and cry and walk off the podcast and cry on TikTok and complain? It doesn't make sense. Is it because maybe this time these people, they were actually telling her harsh factual truths that, you know, hurt her a lot? As they say, truth hurts, right? So maybe that's the reason why. Because yeah, otherwise, why is this scenario so special?
We're going to be taking the piss. I don't really believe that. But also, like, the way you acted in that podcast is very concerning in general, because it gives this idea that you don't have the best view of women. Like, a lot of us, I think, are concerned about your overall view on women. Like, the way you talk to women. I mean, the fact that you've got a podcast dedicated to OF girls, it is slightly concerning to me, because I don't know, I'm not 100% and I can't fact check, but there are rumours that the main guy in the middle, Sean, I think that's his name, has an OF. And now I don't know how true that is again, so I don't know how I'm meant to find that out, to be honest, either.
I mean, if that's true, then yeah, that might be a bit hypocritical, but also it depends. Is he on camera doing content himself, or is he maybe like a manager? But even so, that yeah, if that's true, I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit weird, yeah. But again, don't take these people's words for it just like too easily, you know. You have to make sure it's factual.
Many people have DM'd me saying that it's funny because he has an OF. So I don't personally think you have a problem with OF. I don't think that's the case at all. I think you don't like women and you're using OF and the industry as a scapegoat to kind of vocalize said hatred towards women. I think they're going down...
She's saying women, and that's a kind of generalizing all women, but they're arguing and debating a very specific group of women for a very specific reason. It's not all women, it's just these women. It's not like they're bringing on doctors and I don't know, politicians and, you know, lawyers who are women and debating. That would make no sense. You know, that's useful women who are actually doing something for society. They're not doing that. They're bringing on women that are, you know, that society sees as taboo or doing taboo things, which makes sense.
Andrew Tate route, but instead of like actually just doubling down, like at least with Andrew Tate, I can respect the fact that he doubles down. You guys are too embarrassed and scared to double down, that instead of doing that, you're just being like, oh, no, we just supporting Tesco workers.
Even Andrew Tate, yeah, who like, before anyone says anything, you're defending Andrew Tate, I don't believe everything or agree with everything Andrew Tate says, but at the same time, we have to be fair, man. Like, even if you dislike someone, If they say something that's truthful, you have to agree with it. You can't just not agree with it just because it's coming out of the mouth of a person you don't like. You know, truth is truth. Facts are facts. So yeah, even Andrew Tate himself, it hasn't come out of his mouth that ever that he said, literally, I hate women. He's got some very, you know, crazy thoughts and opinions on how relationship dynamics should be between a man and a woman. But that doesn't necessarily mean he hates women. And crazy take here, yeah. Like I would even say, even if a man is violent towards his woman, yeah, beats his woman, which I don't fucking agree with it. Okay, so don't anyone say in the comments or anything like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, even if that was the case, that technically still doesn't mean the man hates the woman. Maybe he likes her a bit too much, if anything, in a weird way, because he likes her so much he's getting emotionally triggered to the point where he can't control his anger. You know, jealousy and things like that. A person who doesn't like women wouldn't care what happens to a woman, or you know, they wouldn't be emotionally attached and triggered to the point where they're getting violent, if that makes sense.
Like, what are you? What you want to slob all over a Tesco worker's knob? Is that the thing? I don't understand what the hard on is for that. And like, again, if you actually were like concerned for the fact that you think she was belittling Tesco workers, then you could have gone on that rant on the podcast, but you didn't. So silence your lips, young men.
Okay, well, first of all, the first thing I would say is, I don't know what your name is, with the brown hoodie. But you keep going on saying how she was degrading 9-to-5 workers. That is, like, you guys are criticizing the fact that she's taking things out of context, but I would argue that is taking things out of context, because I watched the entire thing. It took me an hour to get through the entire thing, like breaking down what you were saying. She didn't say that like there was like shame in being a 9-to-5 worker. Her argument was that because you were saying she doesn't contribute to society, and she's saying how is it any less degrading to sell your time ultimately to a government? She wasn't saying like NHS workers, pieces of shit. It's like, that's not what she said, and you're taking that so people will get off your back.
So
like, you're not. Go on.
What exactly did she say?
Word for word, I wouldn't be able to like tell you.
She said there is no dignity in waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go and work for someone else.
Me, when I just take things out of context, like, yeah, like I said in the video, you can take that route. You can pretend that you actually thought she was saying that NHS workers are pieces of shit. But like, boy, you know damn well. Damn well. And also, like, why are you so mad? Like, that's all I kept thinking throughout. I was like, why are you so angry, boy? Like, chill. What like, I get when you're like accused of shit you didn't do, it's like a very infuriating thing. Like, I understand that, but like,
yeah, like what kind of comment is that? You fucking idiot. What do you mean, why are you so mad? Isn't it obvious? You just said it. It's weird. Like, everything she says is like she kind of admits and she knows what she's saying is wrong, or there's reasons for why they're acting the way they're acting. Yeah, she always kind of explains it before she even goes on to say what she's saying, but then she'll still go on to say and contradict her points that she made previously. Like, she just said it. Obviously, if you're being accused of things and you haven't done those things and you feel you're in the right, and someone's accusing you of serious things as well, like misogyny and hate all women and all these strong words here, of course they're going to be angry. Of course a person's going to take that personally and be angry and triggered, and a person's allowed to defend themselves. You know, if someone's doing that to you, you're allowed to defend yourself. If anything, I would say, why is she so angry? Why are you so mad? Again, you usually agree with these men that you're debating now. You don't support OnlyFans workers, yeah, but you're so triggered to the point that you feel the need to make this video and attack them and defend this woman who, again, you don't usually. I keep repeating myself. It's such a valid point. You usually don't agree with them. You're totally against what they do. So why are you so angry? Why are you mad to the point that you're doing this? It doesn't make sense.
Sat there like genuinely really angry about this is not helping the idea that like you're low-key concerning.
So that is saying that there is shame in doing that. There's no dignity in that. That's what she said.
That's what the paper posted as well.
So I don't know how you're saying now that she didn't say that.
No, I'm not. I
understand
understand what you're saying, but I feel like when it comes to like debates and conversations, you have to realize that I feel like you know what she was trying to say, because I can understand how you've taken it that way. But it's so obvious that it's so obvious what she was saying.
I don't know what they said there. I could have completely been mugged off. But I feel like I could genuinely have a better debate with my 10-year-old cousins. Like, I feel like that would be more effective. Talking to these was like talking to a brick wall. It was just like...
Yeah, you can relate more to your 10-year-old cousin or whatever she said, but not for the reasons she thinks. I would say she can agree or have a better debate with the 10-year-old because they share the same brain capacity. Do you know what I mean? They're on the same level. That's why. Like that's how little kids argue. You know, it's everything based on how they feel and their emotions and shit, which is why kids cry a lot and stuff like that, you know, and have tantrums. That's what she's doing, and that's what the lady they're talking about is doing as well. Basing things on emotions, you're crying over nonsense. So it's not because you're more intelligent than them, it's because you're on the 10-year-old level, madam. That's why.
I could feel my vocals going zoop into the void. Like, they weren't going anywhere. And if I'm honest, Charlotte Hayes said this. Big up Charlotte Hayes. Love her. I'll link her TikTok down below. She debated them as well. And she was saying like, oh, I feel like the one in the middle isn't actually as thick as he comes across. And I agree. But what's also weird, guys, is me and my friend Addie, again, love her, legend. Don't know if she's watching. Maybe you are. She basically got up their like history with their like different businesses. And they've had like 5 different businesses, 5 different LLCs, and I'm a bit like, what is the game here? What's going on with you guys? Something suspicious in the air. Also, another...
What? Now she's complaining that they have many businesses, or they've tried to have a lot of businesses. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, she just complains about literally anything. Oh, they you know, I've heard a rumor one of them saved a life the other day. That's sus. That must be sus because they did it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no matter what they do, even if it's a good thing, which starting businesses, isn't that ambitious and good? Isn't that contributing to society? Even if they have a lot of failed businesses, so what? They're attempting to do something good for themselves, for society. There's nothing wrong with it. Loads of people try loads of businesses, fail. They have failed businesses, and then they keep trying again and again. One of the most popular families that everyone loves and girls look up to and all that type of shit is Kardashians. The Kardashians, they've started flipping over 100 businesses. There's like a documentary on how many businesses they tried and how many of them have failed. When they do it, when people like Kardashians do it, who got famous, like the main person getting famous over, again, sex work, like sex tape, not necessarily sex work, but yeah, over sexual content, people rate her for it. Damn. It just blows my mind, man.
/rumor/ I don't fucking know, is that there's some tax going on, some suspicious tax stuff. Make that of what you will.
You get up at 7, you go do your job, you come back for such little wage. How is that good? How does that make you feel good that like your whole life is spent working and then you can retire when you're in your 60s? That's what she's trying to say.
I find it so funny looking back to when this happened, because some of the comments were just saying team you Chris Brown, and I can't lie. That is funny. That's funny. It is literally team you Chris Brown. Not great that Chris Brown also doesn't like women, but you know.
And I feel like wait.
Come on now, man. This is getting like, I'm lost for words, man. Now she's blaming Chris Brown for claiming Chris Brown hates all women as well. Why? Because what, he got aggressive that one time to Rihanna. When he was like, what? Wasn't he like 18 or something? Like, he was really young, I think. Was he 18? 19? I don't know. But yeah, come on, man. They had an argument. I think Rihanna even hit Chris Brown as well. I think so. But people don't speak on that. So yeah, man, like just accusing every man of being hateful towards women and not liking women just because they're a man. Does she not like women because she usually disagrees with them and argues against them? What if a woman cried because of her content? Does that automatically mean that she hates them because of it? if someone can't take the truth, how's that your fault? If you're speaking the truth, you're not lying. There's nothing wrong with it.
And I feel like what you're doing here is you've seen...
I'm sorry, at that point, I felt like, you know that Jubilee interview where she's like, I'm speaking. That's what I felt like. You can tell, like, I was picturing myself in an edit right now. I was like, oh my God, she f***ing eats. I don't know.
Yeah, you see, that's why she's doing this. She's got like an image of what she wants to kind of, or how she wants to come across. She's seen others do these type of debates and videos, and she thought to herself, yeah, you know, I want to do this. I want to do it too. I want these viral videos for my fan base, so they can clip it and share it, so I can go viral and get likes and clicks, because that's what she's doing it for, man. I don't see no other reason why she would be contradicting her morals so much. And also, side note, I've seen another video of hers, yeah, because I'll admit, I watch a lot of her videos because they're very entertaining. She says a lot of dumb things here, but I love watching videos like that, because then I can make reactions like this. I can only, you know, react to stupidity. I'm not gonna react to things I really agree with. That's not fun to watch. Everyone loves drama and shit, innit? But yeah, she's admitted, like, listen to this. She admitted that if she was to get enough money, yeah, I think it was like 1 million or 2 million. If she was offered that much money, she would consider doing sex work. Like, come on, bro.
She's making so much money. It does not concern her anymore. And, you know, an element of that is just like, well, what can I blame her? In a way, I get, like, yes, moral implications, but a lot of people have to ask themselves, like, the money she's earning, what, like 1.5 mil a month? See, ask yourself at home right now, and don't give me the whole no, because, you know, my morals are more important, because a lot of people's morals will drop at the click of a hat, the click of a finger. Click of a hat, what's it? The drop of a hat, click of a finger, if they could earn that money. I'm not saying, I don't know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's like if someone came to me and said, hey, Katie, 2 mil a month, to do is a different thing, I don't think I could do that, but 2 mil a month to post some raunchy pictures on OnlyFans, could you do it? It would be one of those things where I would be like, that is an insane amount of money. And it would feel insanely hard. All right, people are going to have a field day with me saying this. But it would be very, very hard. Let's just be realistic to say no to that. It would, because money is freedom in this society. However, it's about your happiness. It's about how you're going to feel in the long run. I guess you just don't know. I'd like to think that I wouldn't say yes. But, I mean, with that money, people are going to cry at me saying that. Yeah, I just want to clear up, by the way, that's not me saying that I would bend my morals for money. I feel like I don't have to explain myself. Anyone with a brain knows what I'm talking about.
Come on, man. Like, that's what you call selling your soul. She's willing to go against her morals, yeah, and throw all of her work and all of her teachings, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, out the window if she was paid enough. So does she really care about what she's doing and promoting and teaching to her fan base? When she makes all these videos how it's bad for society to do sex work and girls shouldn't do it, and it's exploiting women and it's abusive to women and all this type of shit, yeah. Does she really mean it if she's willing to do it herself at the end of the day? It's a huge contradiction. You can't flip-flop and serve two masters, and you know you got to pick a side. That alone shows you the type of person she is. She's fake. She's fake, man. I'm sorry to say, but she's very fake, and it's unfortunate because when you see her comments in the comment sections, so many women are agreeing with her, and they think she, like, you know, destroying people with her logic and shit. What logic? It's illogical. Everything you're saying is stupid, mate. It's dumb.
Shout out to you guys, by the way, that do edits of me. I see them. I see all of them. And not gonna lie, they boost my ego. They do. So
there you have it. There you have it. She said it. It boosts her ego. See, I'm sensing. I don't like throwing the word around here, but I was sensing like narcissism from her, and there she goes. There she goes, telling you that it's boosting her ego. She likes it, she sees it, and it makes her want to do it more. This is why it's so important for us to not, like, kind of egg these people on. Again, it's like this childish mentality. You know, when a kid does something and you're like, yay, you know, like, carry on. It gives them confidence. Even if what they're doing is not great, you kind of do that to kind of inspire them to do it more, to boost their ego, as she says. And when you have like a childish mentality, that's all you need to kind of carry on and be confident in doing what you're doing. That's the whole thing about parenting and teaching your kids and how to be like good citizens or good people. A lot of like crazy behavior from children comes from their parents. Kids imitate their parents. So if a parent's teaching a child to do crazy dumb things, they're gonna do those crazy dumb things because they think, it's a good thing. They in their heads they think, my parent cheers me on when I do this dumb shit, so I'm gonna do it because that's all they know. That's why it's important not to gas up these type of people, because then that's how you have the clown world that we have now, the clown world that we live in, full of idiots saying dumb shit that don't even make sense, arguing against reality and truth. Why are we doing this?
In the podcast, you didn't sit there and go, hey, don't degrade 9-to-5 workers. That wasn't this big rant that you went on, and you could have done that if you felt that strongly. You didn't do that. You've only now said, hey, she was coming after 9-to-5 workers because it's making you almost seem like the good guys in this situation.
No, that was the whole argument. That was the whole premise of the argument in the moment.
But you didn't. I watched.
What was his response then? Like, listen to what he said. What are you saying? What does that mean?
You weren't going off on this big.
Is that rocket science? I understood what he said. It means context matters. Stick to the context. Why did he say what he said?
Tangent about how she's disrespecting 9-to-5 workers. You didn't do that.
We were comparing her, what she provides to society to what a bin worker provides.
Okay, but do you see the irony as 3 men with mics sat there calling a woman a hoe, being like, hair is unattractive, like bushes are unattractive, like that? What do you think that's contributing to society?
I feel like that ginger guy, Ed Sheeran, Ginger Sans Claus, whatever you want to call him, like, I feel like he just doesn't need to be there. Like, he doesn't really say much. And interestingly, if you watch his face for a lot of the debate, there are many times where he looks like he wants to laugh, and it's like, I know he knows that he is sat with 2 clowns. Now, I'm not letting him off lightly either, because, like, you made the like, if it was me, right, who had released that podcast, and I was that ginger guy, because he didn't really say much, he could have saved himself. I would have been like, F you guys, I ain't getting involved with this shit. But no, he decided to sit there and... Do you guys have any PR skills? Like, I know I'm not one to talk. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. At the end of the day, everybody online are humans online. We're not perfect, and I get that. And I just think these clowns, it's so different to me because it's not just a little mistake. It's so glaringly obvious how they feel about women. It's just so obvious, and it's just sad. Like, this is, and I know a lot of people, by the way, they're like, well, Kate, how's your content any different because you monetize talking about OF, and I completely get that point. That's an argument you can make till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, I think I'm on the right side of history. I don't degrade the women that I'm talking about. I unless they're like actually like horrible women that have done terrible things, then I probably will make jokes, obviously. But when it comes to like just regular,
she's a huge fucking hypocrite, man. Everything she's accusing them of, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is me making assumptions, but the way she is, from the odd 1 or 2 videos I've seen when she's arguing against OnlyFans girls, she's very, like, how would you call it? She's very sassy, like, with the way she is, isn't it? So I'm pretty sure there's videos of her being like very offensive to OnlyFans women and calling them names and shit. That's her character, you can tell. So she's just a hypocrite, if you ask me. That's all she is. And the worst thing about it is she knows that as well. She knows it, but she still does it. It clicks and views.
Nice women who haven't done anything wrong, I'm respectful. And I think it's really unfortunate for people, like, not to be like, oh, me, because I know this isn't about me. But in terms of like how I have so many fucking brain dead losers coming over to me being like, she's a swerve, you're a swerve, you're a swerve. Like, I see it everywhere on Reddit, or on Twitter. Like, it's just like, give it a rest. And the reason why I get called stuff like this and many other women get called swerves when we talk about sex work being potentially bad is because people can't differentiate people like these 3 morons who are the type of men to say only detected, opinion rejected, and me who's saying, hey, I love women and I want women to not be objectified, therefore I don't think the industry, something made by men, is good for women. Like, people can't differentiate that then, because it's people like this who don't know how to critique, like, and I think they do actually. I do think they do know how to critique people properly. They just hate women.
I have absolutely zero problem with people coming online to almost voice their opinions on OF and how the industry can be bad.
Again, not to reach, because like I know it's not that deep, but like bro could have at least been listening to me instead of scrolling on his phone when I'm talking, but like go off, I guess. Not that deep.
For fuck's sake, man. Again with the narcissism, man. Oh shit. When I was speaking, he wasn't staring me down and taking notes and paying attention and worshipping me. Like, what the fuck, man? He doesn't have to do that, woman. You're speaking and you're like, there's 3 of them, you know, 2 of them are looking at you. One of them's checking his phone. Like, so what? She has like a huge fucking ego. It's like, when I'm speaking, everyone shut down the world. Like, who are you? Who are you, man?
How can be bad. There's nothing wrong with doing that. You can do that. But the way that you did it is completely ineffective. And the problem is with people like you is it makes people who criticize the industry look even worse, because people assume that we can't criticize the industry without being misogynist. And
you
wait,
understand?
I'm
You're
almost
defending
done.
a girl.
Boy. I'm almost done, and then you can speak.
I do. You know what clip I had in mind when I said that was, you know, the Piers Morgan and Kanye West clip. Editor, put it in.
Hey boy, regret. Hey boy, don't call me boy.
Kanye West is definitely not the person to be quoting, but I don't know why I find that clip funny. So, and plus, like, you're acting like little children. You know, I know you're fully grown men. You should be acting better, but you're acting like kids, and it's embarrassing.
You could have easily had a very, like, constructive argument and conversation with bringing up how you feel about the industry, but that's not what you guys are interested in. Come on, I'm a creator. I know how it is. You're on the grind. You want views, but you can't sit there and be like, oh, nothing for society, and then use people's asses in your thumbnails, because what does that say about you? Like, it's hypocritical. You're just being a hypocrite.
That's not being a hypocrite. They're just using, like, if they invite girls on, and if they dress a certain way, they're just using how they dressed on the podcast for the thumbnail, because it brings in clicks and views and likes. It's marketing, isn't it? But that's not hypocritical. They're not doing them themselves. She doesn't even understand the definition of hypocrisy. This is what I'm trying to say. These girls, they don't know the meaning of anything. Talking about misogyny this, misogyny that, they don't even know the meaning of it. They don't even know the meaning of misandry, which is a lot of the times what women are towards men. That women are really more realistically closer to being real misandrists here. Hate and dislike of men than what men are to women as misogynists. That makes sense. There's literally people on TikTok and social media, women, I should say, saying let's delete all men. You know what I mean? Instead of me saying the actual word for YouTube purposes, delete all men. They say that and nothing happens to them. But when a man just criticizes a woman and says a woman shouldn't do this and that, then it's the end of the world. It's double standards, man. And I hate that shit, man.
How was that being a hypocrite?
No.
I was challenging her argument.
He's adding 0 to the conversation. Like, please be coherent. Like, and I know you're probably watching this, guys, because, like, you're actually pathetic and you want clout. Whatever. We're all clout chasers. That's the truth. But I said that you're...
See? Yeah, you're pathetic. You want clout. But I know that we're all clout chasers and we're all doing the same thing, which is what she's doing. Remember, she begged it with them. She said it. I begged it with them. She went on their platform to argue with them. So who's the clout chaser?
Because you call women wastes of space. You say that OF is blah blah blah, disgusting, but then you use women's asses in your thumbnails. And, like, again, there's a difference between just using pictures of people where they happen to be showing skin or I don't know, but then you're, like, actually just look at the thumbnails. Like, they are so obviously crafted to get views based off of women's bodies, which is ironic because you're criticizing that.
Because she said...
No. I want to reply to what I just said. I'm not talking about the NHS shit.
So you do understand that you're defending a girl who is outright pushing a narrative onto little children, because this is an app full of little children that...
Yes, babes. And YouTube doesn't have children on it. And, like, you're talking about this is an app full of little children. Let me just show your Instagram right now. Your Instagram is full of OF women on your podcast. What are you talking about? Clown. Oh, the hypocrisy. Like,
being an NHS worker and being anyone that has a normal job is a waste.
That's NHS. That's NHS. And that's him. Like, come up for air, brother. Breathe. Like, you can stop guzzling all over that NHS milk. Like, chill out. They're not going to give you a discount. It's not that deep. How is it that you guys don't even work for the NHS, but there's people in the comments who work for the NHS who are like, it's literally not dignifying to be giving my all, saving people's lives, looking after cancer patients, looking after the elderly, looking after people, children with chronic illnesses, children.
What reality is this fucking I can't say what I want to say, man. Like, what reality is she living in? She just said there's no dignity in NHS workers, hospital workers, nurses, doctors, and things like that. They literally save lives. What's more dignifying than that? What brings more dignity and what contributes to society than flipping helping sick people be able to be healthy and live their lives? What the hell, man? Is she trying to make the argument that sex workers, there's more dignity in sex work than working for the NHS? Because a lot of the times, I've heard how NHS workers, especially here in the UK anyway, they complain that the pay is not great for what they do, for the work that they do. And it's probably true. But the one thing that keeps them going, that motivates them to get up every morning and do what they do, and even though they're not getting paid as much as they should be, they still love the job. Because why? Because they love what they do, because it saves lives. You know, they feel accomplished. They feel like they're doing something, you know, like great to society, which it is. You can't argue against that. It brings dignity. That's what keeps them going, more than the money. But sex work is the other way around. The money keeps them going more than anything. They'll take the money over their, you know, like some of them sex workers, they have like kids and children. They'll rather take the money instead of caring about how their kids feel or how their kids are gonna grow up and deal with their parents doing sex work. Again, that's what you call selling your soul. If you're willing to do anything, like morally incorrect or wrong, just for money. She's making an argument here that basically sex work is better in some strange way or makes you feel more accomplished than saving people's lives and shit like that. I think I'm repeating myself, but do you know what I mean? Like, I can't be the only one who thinks this way, man. I can't be the only one thinking that this chick has completely lost the fucking plot.
Born with horrible defects and then being paid a embarrassment of a wage while the Tory-ass government are wiping their asses with everybody's dignity. That is what she was saying, and anybody with a brain cell can tell that. And I don't see any NHS workers voicing how upset they are. It's like when 14-year-old, 15-year-old like girls on Instagram get offended on behalf of everybody else and no one really cares but them. That's what this is like.
And that you should start doing sex work. That's the narrative
She
that
did
she's
not
pushing.
say that.
She said there's no dignity in it. Imagine if you was a 16-year-old girl working at Tesco's and your parent, there's no dignity in doing that work. But there's dignity in doing her work.
I only just a year ago managed to quit my job. I've worked since I was 15 doing jobs. So I don't know when the last time you guys worked like normal 9-to-5s or whatever.
That sounded like a dig. It genuinely wasn't a dig. I just thought it was really interesting to have these clowns harp on about how offended they are on behalf of a group of people that they can't even relate to anymore. I feel like it's more offensive to imply that they should be offended by that. Like you're literally, you are perpetuating this idea that NHS workers would be offended by that. Like NHS workers are what? Lesser than? Like you are, it's just ironic.
No doubt.
What kind of fucking idiot comment was that, man? How did she come to the conclusion that the people, these three guys here who are defending NHS workers, they're the ones defending them, saying, yeah, there's dignity in doing that and there's no dignity in doing OnlyFans work? How are they the ones saying that the people that they're defending, the NHS workers, are lesser than? You're saying that, woman. You're the one arguing against it. You're the one trying to tell people that doing the OnlyFans work is more dignifying or brings more dignity than NHS. So you're saying they're lesser than, not them, not the guys you're debating. How does she not understand this?
tell that like she's referring to the fact you get up at 7, you drive to your job, you have very little time, you're not going to be able to retire. Like, creators have the luxury of making, you know, a lot of money.
Just stop calling them creators. She's a worker.
Yeah, like, I don't know that. She's still a creator. Like, you create work, do you not? Like, you're not a...
No, not really. You don't create, you have, and then you put it out there. You film it and then you put it out there. How's that creating? You're not creating. You have. It's a huge difference. You're not. It's not talent. You're not being artistic or creative by having on camera. Since when is having creative? What? Just because it's filmed, then it makes it creative? No, that's not a creator.
And then you do podcasting, like, fine. Like, if you want to like, you're nitpicking the most dumb stuff. Like, what, you thought you ate with that comment? Like, what did you just prove? Absolutely begs.
You're trying to tell
I'm talking about
little children.
creators in general. I'm not
trying to tell little children that work is better than going and getting a job, and we don't agree.
At what point did she say that children should go do work? I actually don't recall that being said. I love when people on the internet, like, they have this crazy talent at, like, and I've had it done to me before. Like, they'll see a situation, right? They'll suck what they think happened. They'll reword it into this lovely narrative that makes it look worse, and then they'll go, yeah, well, that happened, so eat shit. And it's like, right, okay, we're just going to completely remove context, are we? Nice one.
Clearly never seen my... listen, I've done so many videos.
I was going to say you've clearly never seen my YouTube, and then I realised that sounds really egotistical because most people haven't, because I'm no one. Like,
more of the narcissism. You see, the truth, the real her was coming out. She thinks she's a lot bigger than what she is. She thinks she's a special snowflake, or whatever they say. She was about to say, see, that was the real, like, that's how she really felt. And then she stopped herself because she knew how it was going to come across. Not because what she edited herself to say after. It's the true her, you know. The true her was the thing that nearly slipped out. If that makes sense. See, she thinks like, oh man, oh, you must not have seen my video. Like, I'm supposed to be like you. Yeah, no one's seen your video. Oh, okay, not no one's seen. Obviously, she's got a fan base, and you know what I mean. Like, the overall society hasn't seen your video. You're just a YouTuber. Like, people have to pay attention to these type of people, man. Like, just pay attention to there's detail in what they say. Every word they say matters. Every reaction of them matters, you know. Their mannerisms, their tone of their voice. Yeah, it might be a bit extra, but like, you know, you have to watch these little details to see. So I don't know who said it, but someone said it, like, listening is an art, you know. You know the Bible says that you know a person by their fruits. What they, you know, what they do and what they say. Actions speak louder than words. So watch her actions and you'll know who she is. She's telling you who she is.
No, I'm nothing special, and I realised as I was saying it that it sounded quite arrogant, so I changed the way I was going with it.
Voice my concern and my opinion, saying that, like, I don't think is good for society. I don't think only is good for women. I agree with that, but I've never come online and done it the way you've done it, and that's why I haven't had this kind of situation. Because, huh?
Someone commented saying we all look like dealers. Sorry,
carry on. What was you saying?
I'm just saying, like, I think the problem is, I don't think there's anything wrong in this day and age to be opposed to OF and because, like I've said loads of times, there are issues with it, and I certainly would not persuade young women to go into that industry, but there's ways of talking about that, and you completely missed the mark. And like, I know as a YouTuber, you have so many opportunities before you upload to think about it, and you actually saw that video, you saw her cry, and you thought, yeah, that's mint, I'll post that. And that's the part that I just can't understand. I don't know why you're looking
No,
so
but we also
confused.
saw what she was saying about with these controversial opinions. I thought, no, people need to see this because she's trying to tarnish our name.
Boy, you... I don't understand why you keep saying this. Right, okay.
I feel like you've tarnished your name so much more by posting it and then refusing to apologise. Like, am I like living in a different reality? The lack of self-awareness is astounding, and I don't think I'll ever, I'm happy I had this interaction because it just makes me feel better about myself. It's like, there are people out there that genuinely function with this mindset, and it's kind of scary to think that this is the way that they deal with women in general.
You're in a situation.
Again, you see, she's very sly with her wording. Women in general, no, it's not women in general, it's a specific type of woman. OnlyFans women, not women in general, not all women, just some women. She's very sly with that shit.
Getting flamed, right? And look, I've had a controversy online before. I get it. It's not nice. But you're basically taking one thing that she said that you can run with, that you think will get the general public's.
No, we've spoken about everything.
You haven't even addressed it.
What?
You haven't even addressed it.
Yeah, well, this is the point I was trying to make by, mentioning controversies and when I've been in a controversy or whatever. It's like, I don't think you're allowed. People will disagree with this, but I stand by it. You're allowed to defend yourself, even if you're under fire. You're allowed to defend yourself for the things that you believe you are having the right to defend yourself over. But what you don't do is make something up to defend yourself based. They're making up that they were bothered at the time that she was talking about NHS workers. Like, they didn't harp on with that narrative. They never went, that's
an assumption. You're assuming they don't care. Again, why hasn't she asked them that, man? You went on their podcast or their show or whatever, or their calling stream that they're doing. You could have easily asked them this. They would have told you. You would have had the answer, then you wouldn't be sitting here now doing your reaction video to it, making assumptions that aren't necessarily true.
Horrible. Why would you say that? They didn't do that because they didn't think that at the time. They've just thought, what can we say to make ourselves look like good people? I'm getting warm. I need to open a window.
She said, oh no, she didn't mean to say that.
Address what?
No,
the NHS thing?
No, okay, getting up at 6 a.m. has no dignity. Tesco's staff workers don't have dignity. Address that, please.
He kept saying address it as if I hadn't addressed it. I addressed it so many times. I just wasn't addressing it the way he wanted me to address it because it didn't suit his narrative. And I just wanted to say, like, dude, do you get how arguments work? You can't keep telling me to address something that I am addressing, just not the way you want me to. I just kept thinking, like, what do you mean, bro? I've addressed it like 7 times. Like, she didn't mean it that way. And honestly, she's got a point. Like, I don't remember feeling particularly dignified working for Burger King at a service station on my own at the front when I would have creepy people come in at like 2 a.m. and try and hit on me, or when I was almost kidnapped in the stall and I was being paid minimum wage and then had to like beg for furlough. Like, I don't particularly feel like that was a very dignifying experience for me. She didn't say, NHS workers, they're all scumbags, they're a waste of space, which is what you said about her. It's actually not that hard, I fear, but go off.
You keep saying, oh no, she didn't mean to say that. That's not what she meant. Address the comment, please.
Address the comment. Okay.
He literally just proved the fact that I had addressed the comment by saying that's not what she meant, but then asked me to address it. Like, I've addressed it, just not the way you want me. Like, yeah, no, you're right, actually, I'm addressing it right now. She was in the wrong, and I'm here to debate for fun, like.
Fair enough, I will try and address the comment, but I'm just trying to figure out a way to address it when I personally believe you've just taken it a different way. And now, it's fair enough, you can argue that you genuinely believe that she was, I guess, berating 9-to-5 workers. You can take that route. I can't stop you doing that. But my personal belief, and most people here watched that and didn't take it that way. So it's hard for me to address it from your perspective when I really don't.
I love the guy smiling in the middle. This is what I mean. I'm convinced that 2 of them genuinely know it's a losing battle because they know we're right. I'm convinced. It's only that absolute mug at the end that's like seething with anger that refuses to see any kind of middle ground.
I'm not asking you to address it from my perspective. Address it face value. Address
okay.
What she said.
So if she said, if what you are saying is true and she basically acted like 9-to-5 workers are a waste of space, they were your words, like
no.
Yeah. That's what you said.
Hold on, please. Address it. She says, people, address this. People who wake up at 6 a.m. have no dignity. I just want you to address that. Not what people think, not my opinion. Address that statement.
Well, if she said then that 9-to-5 workers have no dignity, then I would disagree. But that's not the context. Context is so important. You can't take, if we were to go through your videos and take statements and be like, address this, and it's out of context, you would be like, well, why the should I address that? Because it's not in context. And you have taken it out of context because you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, watching your podcast, I did get the impression that maybe you guys weren't the brightest, but I know that you can reach into your...
I love that that guy wasn't gonna smile until his friend started laughing. Like, that was my favorite part. It was like, you weren't gonna laugh until they laughed. Like, lighten up, dude. Like, your life is gonna be so miserable. I mean, it already is. It's going to be so hard to come back from this too. And like, I'm trying genuinely to see the better in people and think maybe they will come back from this and improve their content, but I know they won't. And Charlotte Hayes, by the way, she made a really good point. She said, like, it's very obvious you're going to take the Andrew Tate route, but at least commit to it. Don't do the dumbass virtue signaling stuff because no one gives a
souls and try and see it from everybody else's perspective. I feel like
we are pretty thick, to be fair. Look at us. This is who you're arguing with. We're dumb. Like, why are you wasting your time?
I personally think that was a slightly manipulative little thing there. Hey.
Like she just did a checkmate on herself because they asked her. She finally addressed what they wanted her to address, and then guess what? She agreed with them. Oh, like, you know, she agreed with them. So again, why are you here arguing against the people you agree with? Like, what is this, man? This must be like one of the dumbest reaction videos I've seen, or one of the dumbest reasons to be upset over something. You're upset over the thing you agree with. How does that make any sense? Oh man, this shit is like beyond words sometimes, man. That's why I pause so much. And I have to think, like, you know, like, hold on, am I the crazy one, or, you know, am I losing it, or is it them? I question myself. Yeah.
From a PR standpoint as well, you started the live stream.
Now I'm intelligent.
What was you saying?
I think from a PR standpoint too, guys, you started the live stream by going, these false allegations, like, I completely get if you want to clear your name, because I'm not getting into that. I don't know what that's all about.
It's not an allegation. It's clear.
That's fine.
It was 9 years ago.
Well, that's none of my business. I haven't researched enough, so I'm not going to give a comment on it. But I just think, like, why are you going through all these efforts? Why don't you just apologise and delete it? Like, it would be better for you.
Because he was Chris's stupid.
Can you stop bringing up this fan comment? Everywhere, we get it.
Because to apologise, we would have to not agree with what we said. We do agree with what we said. Our points are still very valid. What I would say is we apologise if we talked over her at points and we couldn't let her, you know, speak sometimes. I apologise about...
Yeah, and it's like, also they're forgetting that the reason that she stormed off was when they were starting to make jokes about how, like, her kid hadn't seen other areas of the country and, like, had only been on motorhome holidays to the UK, and they started laughing about that. And I really looked at the situation and I was like, they're acting like she knew what she was getting herself into. But making jokes and just mocking a mother, like a single mum, it's just so, like, I could be the thickest skinned person and that would get to me. Like, as soon as you're laughing about someone's kind of kids and the relationship with the kids and her mothering abilities, that's just like a low blow. And it was very... You guys still don't think that was like a wrong thing to do. And then your excuse is, oh, well, we weren't laughing at that. It's because we asked if she had been anywhere outside the UK and she didn't answer. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, if you're a terrible mum, yeah, and you do sex work, people are allowed to laugh at that. They're not laughing at their kids. People feel sorry for the kids, but they're laughing at what you do, and, you know, you being how sad it is that you're those kids' parents. That's what they're laughing at, making jokes about, and the kids will be they're gonna be made fun of in school as well. The other kids are gonna make fun of them because of what their parents do. Even so, like that even lets you know how bad it is, because even the kids will kind of diss you for it, you know, when you go to school as a child. if your parent does sex work, you're gonna be brutally made fun of for a very, 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 very long time. So even the kids know that it's a ridiculous thing to be doing as a parent. But for some strange reason, again on this one particular special occasion, she doesn't seem to understand that. Like all of her other videos don't matter where she's arguing against it. This time she's all for it. Like she's going hard. She's she's going in defending this OF worker. Crazy, man.
She hadn't finished the story. And the irony is here, you tried to talk over me multiple times. You just don't let people speak. And that's not a way to learn.
Going back on what we said, no, I agree with everything that I said. I don't think sex work provides anything to society. I think it damages society. And I don't think you're a people if you prefer to have a shape.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so can we talk about that quickly? Because I've spoke about this before. She didn't say that if you are someone who has a preference for shaven, that you're a nonce. She didn't say that blanket statement. Again, it's another thing that you've taken out of context. She said, if you are somebody who says, and I can't remember which one of you morons it was, but one of you turned around and genuinely said, because hair is unattractive, pubes are unattractive. And to me, and most women out there, that is a very concerning statement, because it's okay to say, oh, I like my women shaven. Like, that's okay. I might have my opinion on that statement, but that's fine. That's your preference, right? But saying that blanket statement, hair on women is unattractive, is kind of creepy.
You like guys with beards?
So what the f is a beard?
Yeah, it's again, she said it herself, but then continues to argue against herself, basically like it's a preference. They're saying, in their opinion, hair on women, like down below, is unattractive. And so that kind of means all women, in their opinion. Because if they're gonna date whichever, like, let's say they could date every woman in the world. Every woman in the world, to them, would have to be shaven down there because it's unattractive to them. That's what they mean. Obviously, again, context matters. They're not talking about the girls they're not dating. Why would they care about that? But if they're dating them, then they're saying they want them to be shaved down there, and that doesn't mean you're sus for it. It's a preference. It's just a preference. Don't girls go and get their, down belows waxed by themselves? Waxed and shaven. What's that shit? Is it Brazilian wax? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, someone correct me in the comments. I don't know. But yeah, they do it themselves. Does that mean those women are trying to pretend to be little girls or little kids by doing that? No. Like, men are not allowed to have preferences, I should say, and women are in this society. It's very, very strange dynamics that go on, like when it comes to preferences. Even though men don't have that many things that they kind of ask or want from women, and women have like a whole flipping list of it, but they're allowed to have their preferences, and men are not. So yeah, double standards.
What to do with it?
My boyfriend has a beard.
Okay.
Yeah, I like.
Okay, so if I made a statement saying the only difference between a man and a woman is if a man and a boy is if a man has a beard, is that a statement that you agree with?
I don't really think that's the same. If you're gonna do that, you need to talk about the same thing, which is men's pubes, not men's beards. You need to focus on what we're talking about.
No, let's just say that. Let's just say you got a boyfriend who has a beard, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like they're not even listening to me. I just explained why a beard isn't relevant. A beard isn't relevant. We're talking about pubes. And then he goes, yeah, let's just say beard. No, but let's not say beard, because beard isn't the same. Oh.
If you had a preference where you wanted your man shaved, does that make you No, it's a preference, right? At the end of the day.
Okay, yeah, then you can, okay. Use the exact same argument she's saying. So, okay, if a woman wanted her man to be shaved down below for reasons, like what I'm trying to say, is that sus of the woman? Does that mean she likes little kids because of it, or is it a preference? Maybe because it brings her irritations when she's down there doing what she wants to do, during those times. it doesn't mean you're sus for wanting someone groomed. Not groomed as in mentally, physically is what I mean. Before anyone says some crazy shit.
I love how they took my look of confusion and silence as a gotcha. No, I was just trying to compute how to reply to such stupidity. They are not the same thing. I hate it when people make loose comparisons that aren't the same at all. It's not the same. Like, I wouldn't say that it's pedophilic for a woman to say they want their man to shave their beard. No. Okay, that's fine.
But you didn't say that. But if I said every man should shave their beard because otherwise it's disgusting, would you not be like, that's a little
it's
bit...
your preference. You don't like men that have beards. It's your preference.
But I don't. Okay, I can see what you're trying to say, but I feel like if you're going to use an argument like that, it needs to be the exact same situation, which is talking about men's beards, not their beards, because you can't just flip it to talk about facial hair.
So you genuinely agree with the point that if you prefer all women to be shaved down below, you're...
No, not that you're... Well, first of all, to be a you have to be convicted. So no, that's not the case, obviously. And second of all, like, no, I don't think you are inherently a pedophile for that one thing. No, I think it is a little bit suspicious.
And I still stand by that, by the way. I do think it's weird if you, like they did, come on a podcast and say that all women should be shaved, hair's disgusting, and then call it a preference, because a preference is saying, I want my woman to be shaved, which we can still draw opinions on. You know, it's not illegal to have opinions on whether that's slightly creepy or not. But you didn't say that either. Like, you acting like you went, yeah, I don't know, I prefer my women to be shaved.
So what's the issue then? If she's saying she doesn't think it means that you're a P word for wanting that, then what's the issue? Then that means it just becomes a preference, which is what they're saying.
XYZ, which I don't really think men should have opinions on that anyway, but like, you can, because that's the way of the world. Like, I feel like you should just be lucky to be there. If I'm honest, it's some hair. And if you are going to have a preference for being shaved, I want to make sure there's not a single hair on your body. But like, again, we didn't talk about preference. You said that hair is disgusting. So pop off, king.
So she just said, if you have a preference for someone to not have hair on their body, then you better not have hair on your body. You don't have to do exactly the same things you want from someone else in a relationship dynamic. For example, a woman wants a tall man. Does the woman have to be tall herself? No. A woman wants a muscular man, maybe. Yeah. Who goes to the gym and is like ripped. But she doesn't have to be ripped and muscular herself. Why is this rocket science? A man wants a woman shaven. Again, usually women like themselves shaven and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, for the most part. Unless you have crazy feminists like this chick where they want to grow armpit hair and leg hair just to try to be rebels for, just to be difficult for no reason. But yeah, if you're like an average normal woman, you want to be shaved yourself. Just because the man wants a woman shaved doesn't mean that they should be fully shaven themselves. And I don't even think women would want that. I don't think women would want their man to be fully shaven, because yeah, it's different between men and women. Men and women have opposite things that they want from each other.
To say, I only like my women clean shaved. I think it's fine.
It's suspicious to have a preference.
No. But you didn't say, I think it was you. I can't, to be honest, you all sound the same and you all give the same opinions and they're all kind of brain dead. So it's hard to differentiate you. But one of you sat there and you said, it's disgusting. Because I remember in my video that I literally filmed it today. That's why I remember so many parts. I sat there and I was like, why would you say that? Like, there's a difference between having a preference and saying it's disgusting if you don't. One of you, who said it? Come on, own up. Because I know it was one of you. You said the words, it's disgusting and unattractive.
I literally saw the ginger guy and him look at each other. It was him. It was the guy in the brown hoodie. Oh, it's so funny to look back at that now. I love that.
No, but I'd say it right now. I think
the guy with the ginger beard. You remember?
Me.
I can tell by your face. You remember who said it.
You watched it, not me.
I don't think pussy.
Bro really said, you were watching the video, not me, as if he wasn't there. What do you mean? You were there.
Hair is attractive. What's...
Yeah, that was a silly comment. if he was there, if he was there, then he would know, innit? So
What's the big?
He doesn't think hair is attractive with a full ass soup catcher on his face. What? You have a big ass bushy beard.
Bad state.
Is this chick? Let me not say it. Is she? Oh my days, man! This is what the fuck. Did she not say a few minutes ago? Yeah, that the beard on the face and down below hair is not the same thing. And then now she's saying, oh, how can you be talking about down below when you have a beard? How can you say down below hair is unattractive, but you have a huge beard on your face? You said earlier that it's not the same thing. Now you're using two different things, or something you said that he shouldn't be using as an argument because it's not the same thing. Now you're using it as an argument. You see the contradictions? You see the hypocrisy, the double standards. One rule for everyone else and one rule for her.
About that.
But I'm not saying. But listen, I'm not saying that you're a for that statement. I'm just saying I personally think that
world we live in now, how when you say that you prefer a woman to have a shaved nunny compared to a hairy nunny, you're almost a pedophile. It's mad, mate.
But then again, but when you say, oh, if you do prefer that, you're a pedophile, everyone just glosses over that. Oh no, she didn't mean that. It was taken out of context.
she didn't
That's
say.
not what she meant.
She didn't say
She
if
said
you're a
if you-
pedophile.
I just saw a comment that said they hear what they want to hear, which is so true. They're not even listening to me at this point. It's like I'm talking to them and this is what they see. Yeah, so I feel like it's slightly weird when you say that because it's kind of perpetuating the idea that you think that hair is dirty on all women, even though we're born with hair, so that's kind of weird.
Like bald, you're borderline. That's what she said.
I think she's trying to make the like. You've seen the
I
stuff
think it's
online.
funny how like you don't address anything she says. You
I'm
just address what we say. You
I'm
don't
trying
address
to.
it. You just gloss over it.
Wait, dude.
All right,
can
we got
you-
to switch it. We got to switch it.
All right.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, that's fine. Bye.
Anyway, so they kicked me off because they couldn't handle the heat. And then they got a man on which just fucking tickled their balls and sucked their fucking belly. And like, genuinely, they just got me off to bring someone on that was like, saying that I want a shaved nunny isn't weird. Like, okay, wow. So much for civilized intellectual conversations. And that's coming from me, not an intellect. But yeah, like, sure, bring on a man that's gonna fucking guzzle your... Like, what am I meant to do about that? Like, bringing on, like, and they were like, bring on a man. Like, don't bring on a man. Keep the men away from this. Not, to be fair, that I know that's a stupid thing to say. There are a lot of men in the comments that were very much on my side and very much understand that this is ridiculous. So that was just that was me joshing. All right. Anyway.
yeah, so she basically showed her narcissism yet again, man. She goes, don't bring on a man unless you agree with what I'm saying. So don't bring on a man that disagrees with her. Don't do it. Men aren't allowed to go on there and disagree with her because that makes them automatically evil and devils, basically. But if you agree with what she's saying, then yeah, that's fine. Stroke her ego, that's fine. Anything else, not fine.
I'm actually exhausted. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for partaking in this.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it, man. I'm exhausted as well, man. Like, fucking hell, what the fuck did we just watch, eh? This is the clown world we have in this day and age. These people are out of control, man. They're fucking up the world. If you're gonna be honest with yourself, yeah, you know they're fucking up the world. You know it, man, deep down. But everyone wants to ignore it and let it happen, and I don't know why, man. But that's why you have people like myself who they want to call like red pill or whatever. Yeah, we're doing our best to trying to fight against the fucking dumb shit that's going on everywhere. So yeah, man, I'll leave it there. Don't be a hater though, man. Go subscribe to her channel, go watch her shit because it's entertaining, man, to say the least. You're gonna be entertained. Yeah, go like her videos and all that type of shit so she can continue bringing us entertainment of stupidity. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, I doubt it, but hopefully you have. Hopefully you was entertained and you enjoyed my opinions on things. So if you want to see more of this type of shit, this is what I'm going to be doing on this channel, reacting to nonsense and funny, interesting things, or things I find interesting anyway. So like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I'm posting next, and comment down below. Let's start a discussion. Let me know what you think, and yeah, see you in the next one.